Bloomberg Tropical Storm Nate is rapidly weakening over the southern U.S. even as flooding from storm surges continues along the Mississippi-Alabama coast. Thousands were without power early Sunday, and storm-related losses could reach about $2.5 billion €2.1 billion. Nate's top winds fell to 45 miles 72 kilometers per hour from 70 in just 3 hours as it moved north-northeast at 23 miles per hour, and was about 50 miles south-southeast of Meridian, Mississippi, the U.S. National Hurricane Center said in advisory at 800 New York time. The storm made its final landfall near Biloxi, Mississippi, as a Category 1 hurricane early Sunday. This morning's after-landfall estimate is $2.5 billion. That shouldn't change much going forward, said Chuck Watson, a disaster modeler with Enki Research in Savannah, Georgia. The intensity crashed at landfall. The left side collapsed. The lack of power on the left, or west, side of the storm meant New Orleans was spared Nate's flooding rains. That lowered damage estimates that had been as high as $4 billion €3.4 billion when the storm was still gaining strength in the Gulf of Mexico on Saturday, he said. The region's oil and natural gas operators mostly shuttered production ahead of Nate's arrival. About 92% of U.S. Gulf oil production and 77% of natural gas output was taken offline, the Bureau of Safety and Environmental Enforcement said in a notice. The U.S. Coast Guard suspended marine traffic and closed ports on Saturday, while Magellan Midstream Partners reduced operations at its Marrero, Louisiana, petroleum storage terminal. At least 13 people were killed in Nicaragua and thousands more were forced to leave their homes. Photo AFP. According to Colonial Pipeline Co. spokeswoman Malaysia Dunn, the storm has had no impact on the company's operations. At least 67,000 customers were without power in Alabama and Mississippi, with the majority of those immobile, according to statements from local utilities. Flooding and landslides caused by Nate earlier killed more than 20 people across Central America. The storm will continue to lose power as it moves north and is eventually absorbed by another weather system moving across the U.S., said Rob Miller, a meteorologist at AccuWeather Inc. in State College, Pennsylvania. Winds are less of a factor now across Alabama and the southeast states, Miller said. It is mostly transitioning into a rain threat. It's possible that rains from Nate, along with a frontal system moving across the U.S., could combine to bring heavy rain into Pennsylvania, New York and New Jersey by Monday. In the next 5 days, close to 9 inches of rain could fall across parts of the southern Appalachian Mountains, while a swath from eastern Ohio through upstate New York into northern New England could get close to 3 inches, the U.S. Weather Prediction Center said. Busy storm season. All told, 14 storms have formed across the Atlantic this season, killing hundreds in the U.S., Mexico and the Caribbean, and causing an estimated $300 billion €255 billion in damage. Accumulated cyclone energy, a measure of storm power and longevity, set a record in September. Hurricane Maria slammed into Puerto Rico in September at Category 4 strength, while Hurricane Irma earlier battered Florida with 130 miles per hour winds. Including Nate, 6 storms will have hit the U.S. this year, said Dennis Feltgen, a spokesman for the Hurricane Center. Until Harvey struck Texas on August 25, it had been 12 years since a major hurricane, Category 3 or stronger, had struck the U.S. Irma and then Maria followed. The 3 alone have caused an estimated $170 billion €144 billion in damage in the U.S., according to Enki Research. Harvey temporarily shut about 25% of oil and natural gas production in the Gulf of Mexico, while Irma subjected Florida's citrus groves to fruit losses that have wiped out some farmers. Get the latest news by signing up to our newsletter, following us on Facebook or Twitter.